And let's take you through the grid then for this one. Quick fire run through it. On pole position, Omar Kayani, Zach Jennings on alongside on the front row. Harrison Bishop, George Ralston on row 2. Stanley Stafford, Layla Bell, row 3. Ethan Guest and Charlie Halewood on row number 4. Then Elijah Hazelwood and Jensen Hookey will be high up the order for this one. Ben Morgan, Emily Johnston, Finley Hands in the midfield. Molly Mizzen, Tyler Banks, Zane Perry, Jacob Underhill on row 8. Clark Naylor, Stanley Williams, Oscar Keane, Jude Pudderfoot, Luca Lewin, Kian Hundle, Ollie Healy, Cooper Moore, Sebastian Geldenhuis, and others will catch up with them. I think just Sam Batty was the only other driver that we didn't quite get to before the race had started. The race has started. Oh no, problem straight away for the 24 and the 26. Charlie Halewood, I can see out of the commentary box window, locked together with Molly Mizzen. They are both out of this race almost immediately. So that was through Cafe Corner. Didn't quite catch what the trigger of that collision was, but what we can report is they are both out of this race. Again, they will need big results in the second round of heats later on today just to stand a chance of directly making it through to the A final. You can of course make it through from a B final to an A final, but not everybody will make it through. There's always a lot of risk at that stage. I think there's also, yes, there are drivers off at the Bruno chicane trying to make through the mist. Who that might be, I think one of them is Layla Bell and the other should be Ben Morgan, because Ben's not come through on timing at the end of that first lap. So 4 drivers out at the end of lap 1. Not out of this race, clear by over a second, Harrison Bishop. This is a good start for Harrison Bishop. Ethan Guest up to P2, and then Jensen Hookey. You've not seen Ethan Guest in owner racing before. Has stepped through the arrive and drive ranks. Very useful driver, and I reckon we'll be quite happy with these conditions. Low grip, bit of sliding around, needing to keep momentum up. These are conditions that will suit a driver who's come through arrive and drive. Jensen Hookey though, down the inside. Is that a new lid? I wonder if that is a new lid for Jensen, because I'm very used to seeing Jensen race in a Jensen Button style design of bright green and black, and that's just a plain white lid right now. You do sometimes see that at this stage of the season when drivers have got brand new kit for Christmas. Not quite got it to the helmet painters yet, perhaps, but either way, Jensen Hookey, very experienced driver is Jensen Hookey, and good to see him in racing action here. Immediately up to second place. Well, not quite immediately, but still pretty quickly up to second place. Zach Jennings has had a decent start, holding in 4th place, ahead of Omar Kayani. Elijah Hazelwood in 6th place. Elijah, another driver who's come through the arrive and drive ranks. You do see a lot of them, particularly from Club 100, where they do run Rotax engines. Naturally, a lot of them have then stepped into the Rotax ladder, into Minimax, and now up into Junior Rotax as well. A couple of things on the screen. Finley Hands has got a track limit warning. The number 22. Where is Finley at the moment? I think he's running in around 11th place. Big load of curb there. That's what we're talking about with the Bruno chicane. I can understand why drivers might want to use it to pole themselves around in these low grip conditions, but they are big curbs through the Bruno chicane, and the problem for Zach Jennings there, the kart actually got fully lifted up off the ground. It became a skateboard for a few moments, and if it's being a skateboard, it's not propelling forward, so Zach probably won't do that again. Cost himself a bit of time. So 4.5 minutes of this race to go. Looking pretty good at the moment for Harrison Bishop, but he is being closed in on. Oh, that's a moment there for the number 38, who does very well. That's Omar Kayani. Omar did very, very well there. A, not to lose the back end of the kart completely. B, not to then end up in the path of the likes of Tyler Banks, Elijah Hazelwood and Jacob Underhill. There's a problem outside of our commentary box window. It's the number 32, unfortunately. That's Emily Johnston. Emily's come to a stop right in front of the dummy grid gate. So he's sadly out of this race. Doing well as well. Amelie was up in 12th place, but will fall down the order now. 3 minutes and 40 seconds of this race to go then. Contact warning coming in from race control for Zach Jennings in the number 69. I wonder if that was for what we saw down at the Stratford hairpin. That's just me speculating. That is not an official line there. That's just a line from a silly commentator in a box. 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this race to go. We're going to have a battle for the lead here. Jensen Hookie is setting some really, really nice lap times. As we have a quick look there at the battle for 8th place between Hans and Hazelwood. Hazelwood, another one of the runners on the X-Kart machine, has come through their scholarship scheme in that one.
I'll help you get Sebastian Klein. What is there to explain?
Other drivers, just to note, there's a lot going on in this race. Zane Perry also on the move, now up into the top 10. Another driver who's come through the Arrive and Drive ranks. It's quite intriguing, actually, that a lot of them who've come through those Arrive and Drive championships tend to run, or have to run, slick tyres in the wet. Can sometimes produce a driver who's very, very nifty in low grip conditions like these. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Lead battle is on. Jensen Hookie has done a really good job of reeling in Harrison Bishop here. That is not an easy feat to achieve around this circuit when you're on your own. And in fact, Hookie's taken the race lead now. Lead is just coming through Cafe Corner. There's a quick sight of Sam Batty. Or Batai, apologies. Sam's made some good progress in this race for Attack Motorsport. It's up into the top 20, having started right at the back of the field. So here is your group. That's Ben Morgan at the front of that group. Ben, I think, is about to go off the lead lap, so not fully part of the equation. But there you see the race leader, Jensen Hookie, going down the inside. Oh, this is a little bit risky, but Jensen's going to make it through. But here comes Harrison Bishop. Bishop may have a run on Hookie into the first corner. No, not quite able to do so on that occasion. It's tricky there for Hookie to deal with. Well, I can see out the comms box window there has been another change. Bishop has got back ahead. So got that done off of Cafe Corner, but has he run a bit too deep through Stratford? No, has got it all together there. Through the Bruno chicane. This is a properly good scrap. Best one that we've had so far today. Warning has come in for Harrison Bishop. On our screens, the specific detail of what that may be for isn't there, but that's okay. Just a warning for now. Jensen Hookie had still back to win this race because his race pace has been very good. He's already been able to reel in Harrison Bishop from more than a second back. The difference now, though, is Harrison Bishop is going to be fully aware that Jensen Hookie is there. Ben Morgan, meanwhile, it's unfortunate that, well, of course, we saw him have the problem down at the Bruno chicane in the early stages of this race. He's clearly got some speed because he's not being dropped by these two leaders at the moment. So that is a little bit of good news for Ben later on today. Just to note, all four of those drivers, Mizzen, Hazelwood, Bell, all got going again after their first lap incidents. So they've all now got past Amelie Johnston in the final order. Last lap board is going to be out. I tell you what, that was a good lap from Harrison Bishop. His odds of winning this race are increasing, steadily increasing. It just didn't look like Jensen Hookie had the speed on that last particular tour to go for a move here. Got to remember, this is a heat. It's not a final. Doesn't necessarily need to go all out here. Oh dear, it's one of the Sodies is off. That's Tyler Banks in the bank at Wilkins Corner. Nice use of the curb there by Bishop and Hookie. You can see they just managed to hook their wheels onto the curb and no more than that. That helped them get round the corner without seeing the problem that we saw for another one of the drivers earlier on in this race. But it looks like it's going to be Harrison Bishop then. He is going to hold on. Good drive. Harrison Bishop takes this heat in Junior Rotax. takes it from a charging Jensen Hookie. Third for Ethan Guest. Ethan will be very happy with that. Aim for today, spoke to his dad Steve earlier on, was to make the A final. Well, that will really help in that quest.